why don't we do like, since we're all kind of done, like, run through like a general, like, what's not allowed and what's allowed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or just what's not allowed, that's usually
Okay.
that's it, fastest one.
Off target areas are behind the knee, or any kicking motion at the knee. They don't like that at
So
all.
like here, look at that.
Yes, sword strikes on the front of the knee and the side of the knee are fine. Not the back. No kicks on the knee. You can go above them, you can go below them, those are all fine. Watch the back of the neck,
Alright.
and if you're fighting HMB, everywhere you feel my hand, off target.
Okay.
Don't hit there. And that includes if it's over helmet or over arm.
What does HMB stand for?
Historic Naval Battles. There's also no joint manipulation in a way that goes against the natural movement. Most throws in some way force that. Really what they mean is in a way where it doesn't matter what they do, you're going to break them. Right? Yeah, so if you've got that, right, there's nothing I can do besides telling you please stop. That's going to stop you from breaking my arm. However, if I am in here, right, like, you're going to want to go back and you can.
Alright, so
Like if I come across here, right, this is technically hyperextending, but if you just step forward, you can come, and it might be stepping into my throw, but you can get out of it, so that's legal. However, taking a wrist, folding it back or something like that, yes,
Yeah.
none of those. Nothing on the feet,
Yeah.
illegal,
Yeah.
including
Absolutely.
stomping and
Stepping,
planting to
holding.
get that throw, right? Like, yeah, he didn't do it on purpose, but most of the time, you can incidental like that, nobody's gonna call it. But if you have like 3 or 4 of those incidental moves, someone's gonna call it. That's the basics.
Grabbing weapons,
Oh
grabbing.
yes, you cannot grab the bladed portion of any weapon. You
So if
can
I have
grab
like
a
a
half.
long sword, can I go half guard? I can't go half
So
guard.
in HMB, you cannot half sword. In IMCF, you can. So if we're fighting with the ACS, legal. Fighting with the HMB, not legal. And it's never legal in any league to grab the opponent's blade.
Okay.
Although you can grab their hat. So if you're coming at me with this axe, I can absolutely stop you from swinging
Right.
and hook it and whatnot. Whereas I could not do that with your sword. Now I'm gonna add a few club rules.
Oh, yeah, don't stop.
Oh yeah.
Just
Most
let me
important.
stab.
No thrusting,
But on the
ever,
sword,
for any reason.
No matter what, that includes the hilt of the weapon.
Okay, so no put.
If you put your sword point down something like this and they step into it, you are gonna get a card for thrusting.
Oh shit.
So do not do that. Like, same guard, just go a little higher.
So no,
Just go a little bit higher. Yeah, you're fine. That includes duels. Now, extra club rules. I do not want to ever see you striking inside someone's elbow.
Okay.
Unless that person has just done it to you. In which case, have fun. I do not want to see you taking the favorite American shot, which is right there. Because if you miss by a tiny bit, you break their coccyx.
Yeah.
And whereas hitting them in the ass, right, it hurts, but that's a padding spot, right? I'm not going down if you hit me in the ass. I'll go down if you hit my coccyx. But like, it's just gonna hurt. It's just being a dick. There are way more effective moves at all times than throwing that shot.
Right.
Yet for some reason, the Americans are one of the most booed teams because we love going for that shot. Not on my team. If there's a spot that isn't well armored, like the back of the calf, be courteous and give them a warning shot near it before you take it. Give them the opportunity to sit down. And don't necessarily go ham on it when you do start swinging. Especially if you're fighting other U.S. teams, because like we're not trying to break people who we are also taking to their national events with us. Like they are our allies, sometimes they're enemies, other times just play nice. Other people will not always respect that. The only time I've ever been hit is against American teams in an open gap. I've had the Russians, the evil Russians, look me up and down, see the gaps, and then aim somewhere else.
Right.
Like, if they will treat you with that respect, we can do the same for them. We want to play with each other
Right.
more often,
Right.
like I'm trying to hurt you, not break you.
Right. What about hooking?
Hooking is technically not legal,
Okay.
but in incidental situations, it happens a lot.
Mhm.
So if you throw that shot, you have to be here.
Mhm.
One quick pull, sure. Just don't
But
hold
just,
on
like,
to it and keep going. Right?
for it.
So if you can make it look like this,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
You're fine there.
And then what about
Again,
hooking on shields?
please don't do that if you know they have no cap,
Right.
because then you're putting the point of the bottom of an axe directly into their muscle,
Yeah.
and that's the issue.
That's a no.
Shields are always legal to grab and manipulate. Crank those bitches. Like,
Okay.
make them like come in here, grab that shield, and torque them onto the ground with it. Absolutely okay with that.
You will always have to hold at least the weapon
Yes.
in order for
Oh
you to
yeah,
attack.
I forgot. If you get disarmed, you either have to draw a secondary belt weapon,
Mhm.
or you have to run back to where we came into the list at and grab a weapon from a teammate who's not on the field.
Okay.
You can't incidentally
You
check
can
people.
defend yourself while you have no weapon, but I can do nothing that looks like an offensive strike. I can't even shove you off of me.
Really?
Because if you go down and I wasn't holding a weapon, I'm dead.
Oh shit. Good.
Which means if you see an opponent without any weapon,
Just like-
Have
lock
fun.
them down. Or take that moment while they are running back to make sure you and your teammate double team and put someone down quick. Because sometimes you're not going to catch them, and it's a waste of your energy and time. When I'm running off, but Jimmy's over here fighting Sean,
Mhm.
right? Like, help Sean put Jimmy on the ground, or vice versa, if you can do that in a couple of
Try to
minutes.
rehab that.
Like, fine and advantageous to want to go real quick, if the sound your body, and then we're gonna get back. But yeah, that's the bulk of it. But yeah, we are not gonna be
We gotta figure it out,
athletes
so.
on the field. We don't have to be, like,
Well,
so,
there's an honor system.
can I get you two come here, come here?
Yeah.
So if these two are currently wrestling, and one of them bends the other over, so their butt is available, right? This is where a lot of Americans will just come over here, hit him here, and hope he goes out and sits down, right? But, pull him back down again, it is just as easy to do this and take that leg out from under him. It is just as easy to come across and hit him here, where you are going to put his weight forward and into the ground. And you don't risk injuring him. Like, there is always
Yeah, because they could be your
a
team
better
later on.
move. So I don't want to see that happen. Despite the fact that you will get encouraged, even by the guy that sent you to us, those are some of their favorite shots. I am not a fan of
Booty
that one.
hunches.
Yes.
Booty hunting.
They like to say things like, swiggity swiggity, I'm coming for that booty. Which is funny, but not in an actual fight.
We're not butt pirates, let's not play one.
Yeah, that is.
What about like these.
So I would like you to sign up with the AMCF membership. It's $20 a year. It covers liability insurance when you travel to any events that they are officially aware of, which includes all of our practices. So it doesn't cover you personally medically, but it covers if you accidentally hurt somebody else. So, or if a random, bystander gets hit by a flying axe blade when we're practicing in armor and something breaks, which has, by the way, happened. It covers them getting treated because they weren't involved in it and we accidentally hurt them. That just keeps us from getting sued for the ground. But yeah, 20 a year is all I'm gonna ask for. And that's not to me, that's to AMCF,
Right.
which is a completely third-party, neutral source.
In essence, we don't take it.
We're doing this because we love doing this.
Yeah, that's how we were set for a little bit more effective. Like my teacher, before he passed away, was not accepting money from anybody.
Yeah.
So.
Well,
And
I
the
got
guys
taught.
that found in Orlando, they charge like $100 a month.
Yeah, so I got taught for free. Somebody went out of their way to train me how to do these things because they wanted to see this sport grow.
Right.
I will do the same thing.
Something like that.
Now, one day I am probably going to open a school for youth, in which
Right.
case I am probably going to do the standard, because you have to keep an aqua building open.
Yeah.
Right now, we have been kind that Raph has been loaning his location to us, and when our nonprofit status goes through, he'll be able to use that as a write-off.
Cool.
But, good to hear. So once that's done, like, we'll be official nonprofit, which will also help when it comes to us raising money for events. So we can help as the official nonprofit for helping cover costs like travel. So gas, hotels, things like that for going places, plane tickets.
Just not ours.
We cannot pay for your armor.
No,
Yeah, and we will start fundraisers and stuff once that stuff happens, where you can go to local businesses, ask for stuff, and have them write off to us with your name on it. We can go, okay, this is your travel fund. To set it aside like that. Well, when we have official, like, we have to say we are letting that happen. It takes a vote from the
And then-
actual board,
Yeah.
but that's always been our plan, so we're gonna be doing stuff.
And then you wanted to go over like what is Sanctum as opposed to like it's
Yes.
our group, but it's not the team because
Yes.
there could be multiple teams.
Our
X, Y, Z.
team name when we fight will not be Sanctum. Our first team, I think, we decided is gonna be Lighthouse. Sanctum is the overall club. So as we grow and we have like 16 people and we can field 2 5-man teams, like they can register as separate teams,
Our team is the Bloodsmiths.
but we all train together under Sanctum. This is kind of like we're gonna help all of Florida with this. This is the official nonprofit covering Florida. So that other people, like, even this team can be like, well, we're trying to raise money for this, so we go, okay, this money goes towards that team's fund, and this goes towards that team's fund. We can keep it separated like that if we need to. But this gives an overall umbrella. Now, if you're fighting singles, you can absolutely just say Club Sanctum. That's not gonna matter as much. That's just the club you hail from or whatever. In the 5s, we're gonna have different names, but the overall Sanctum logo we have and whatnot, like we're gonna have little belt flags we can have that'll have that to show the core club we're all a part of. Just like what's it called, Club Earn in Russia. They have like Bear Paw, Old Friends. Those are both like top 10 teams, and they got like 20 other teams that are all under Burn.
Right.
That's the structure we're trying to build.
So like if we were to like enter one of the more like large scale melees, like 16s
Yeah.
or 20s, would we be Sanctum or?
So
Yeah,
that
that's the name, right?
will still technically be, so like, let's say we have Lighthouse and some other team, right? And we only have like 10 people per, but we can combine those to make a 20-man, 12-person team, because you have the rotational people. If we fight 12s like that, because right now there's no tournament for 30s, or no scoring points. The points for that 12s will go towards each club based on the number of participants from each club. They have a whole fancy algorithm for it.
Oh, okay.
So the club will be able to pull from other members of the club,
Yeah.
but they're still getting points towards each of their teams.
Okay.
Because that's actually the biggest reason I like HMB over all the others, is they have what's called, they have Boohert League, which they score it kind of
Okay,
like
so HMB is
soccer's
over.
Premier League or something, yes.
Yeah.
Kind of like soccer has leagues and whatnot, right? And they work towards a yearly
Like a bit.
to make it to Prime, which happens in Monaco every year. And the top 10 teams go to that. And they just started something called Bogert Next, where 11 through 20 also get to go to something and have their own fancy event. And I gotta say, if you wanna see the most well-run live streams ever, look up Bogert Prime on YouTube. They have
They do
the
well.
fanciest presentation in our sport right now. That is that's the bar. That's the standard we want to reach when we start hosting events and putting on live streams. We wanna do something like that.
Yeah.
Cause they have a professional looking, like, this is a sporting event.
Right.
But these teams, they fight all year in the league, earning points and ranking themselves up. Because there are 2 ways to get to Prime. The first one is winning any of the top level events in each individual, each region has one top tier thing. If you win in that region, you get a ticket, or you get an invitation to Prime. The second way is, after those slots are filled, which is like 5 or 6 of them, the rest of the people are the top ranked teams that did not earn one of those spots. So chances are one of the top ranked teams also won that slot
Right.
in whichever region they're from. So it's not like, it's still mostly those are the top 10 teams. It's just like ACM Mexico went last year. They were nowhere near the top ranking levels, but they won the North American tournament, so they got to go over there and
Cool,
represent.
yeah.
Yeah. They got crushed and they weren't even on the actual live stream portion because they won in the, they lost in the actual, they lost every fight in the prelim competition. So we never got to see them fight, but
They got to go.
they got to go and they got the experience of being at Prime, which is a goal I have for our team.
Very doable,
Right.
very, very doable.
Yes.
You have to have goals. If we don't have any goals, then
Well, if we do this right, because the way Corona kind of solved everything, and we're able to start getting people trained in armor while the U.S. is basically doing nothing, we might be the first United States team to be able to make something like Prime, because the others haven't made that a top priority. There's not a lot of H&D centric clubs in this country, so we have an opportunity to go over there and get our butts kicked in front of everybody, guys. No, I'm just kidding.
No, we're gonna go.
We can go win, yeah, no, I say that as a joke. Every fight is a winnable fight if you go in with the right attitude.
I'm gonna fuck somebody up.
And that is something else that I want our team to do, is like, I will have no problem shuffling somebody off the primary team if they have a negative attitude that drags down the rest of the team.
That's right.
I don't care how good they are. If their attitude makes everybody else fight worse, they're gone.
The good news about that is that I don't think we have anybody who has.
Right now, we don't.
Team sucks ass. Fuck this place.
You.
Lock up.
I have absolutely no faith in my ability.
I heard my pancake.
But like, so one of the things with the team that I've been fighting on for
That's just
3 years
proving it.
now, and we're getting good. Like we
Uh-huh.
might take one of the top 3 spots in the U.S. this
We
year.
will.
Like we've got a chance.
Yeah.
But when we have a really bad match in the first round, you can just feel the energy leave the team. They start talking negative. They start acting like, well, we did good so far. You know, it's like we hit our goals. It's like, no, guys, we can still.
We're
We
not
beat
done
them
yet.
before. We can come back.
Yeah,
It's
they've
best
already
of
been
3.
defeated in the head.
Yeah, right.
Right.
They've already lost, and we lose after that.
I seem to fight better when I'm losing, man. Like as soon as I'm like,
Oh, I get a fire
I've
under
been
me
red,
too.
it's like, no.
Yeah. No.
No.
I can't finish like
Never
this.
retreat, never surrender.
Alright, fine, maybe.
Yeah, no, like I don't.
Homework.
If I get fairly
Go
weak,
play
I
the
get fairly
game,
weak. But I'm gonna go out there
All
going,
in
I'm not
insults.
into
I'm
on this
gonna
note.
go hard,
Yeah,
man.
Right.
And then
If
all
you
the
beat me,
insults.
it's gonna be a hell of a fight, and we're gonna go to
Jimmy,
town.
we play the game.
But, like,
chivalry.
Every fight is like it doesn't matter how much better that team actually
Insults in the
is
game
on
are
paper.
hilarious.
Any fight can go a completely different direction with one mistake.
It's like that.
Any given Sunday.
One person
That's
has
my
to
favorite.
goof, and your team just won.
And the one he's like,
Like they can come charging towards you, and one of them literally falls on their face. It's happening. They're out.
Well, one of them just walks right
Yeah,
by
it
us.
doesn't
This
matter.
one's gonna be huge.
It doesn't matter if I touched you or not. If you trip over your shoes and fall,
You're out.
you're done. So, yeah.
A lot of victories come from teams that make the least number of mistakes.
Right.
Not that they're physically better
it's
or
like football
mentally
too.
better, but
Yeah.
who makes the least number of mistakes.
You seem like you're going to be highly mobile, which is good, which is why I want you strengthening those ankles.
Yes, ankles.
Our
and
team
my
is going to
legs,
be
man.
a mobile team. Even you big guys.
Mhm.
I want you moving.
Mhm.
I want you fighting off the rail in open field. Almost every team out there is trained rail fighters in the HMB.
I want to chop their arms.
Even
Yeah.
in the ACS, and I understand if they fight with their back or their hips on the rail, not many people know how to pull off a good throw and keep their balance in the middle of open field.
Right.
That's what I
Oh,
want us to do.
Kurt, I have a
That's like
question.
your strengths.
Are the rails still set up at your house,
Yeah.
or
No, but we can put
we
them
could just put 1 or 2 up so we can
Yeah.
practice rail stuff?
We can.
I'll try not to break any this time.
Oh,
Well,
God.
I
so
think-
our goal,
No,
one of the things
Adam's
that,
holding up the
as
remote.
a
Yeah.
club,
Have you seen the video of that one?
No, but I like
Yeah.
I just I picture it.
as a club,
They had
not
to-
as
Yeah,
a,
yeah.
not as our
Obviously.
Profit.
non-profit, but just as members, I would like
It's
to
up and you fall over.
raise a little money,
Are we still
and we're
recording?
gonna build a permanent list field
Oh, sweet.
in that yard, like in the ground. We're gonna get it like lightly mulched to make maintenance easier, so it does look nice.
Give me a materials list. I got somebody over at Home Depot that once we have the 501c3, they'll be able to donate whatever the
Oh, that's
things
good.
scraps.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
We're gonna do like 4x4s, 2x6s, and we're gonna build a stable list field that is the regulation 5x5 size. We might
5
even
meters
make
by
it.
5 meters?
No, like
Sean.
5
Yo.
person
Here.
team size, like deregulation list.
Gotcha.
We're gonna set that up. That way we have a place where we can host events. Because we host a big event at that site every year. There's plenty of room for people to
Yeah,
come
there's a
in.
fighting pit.
Yeah,
Really?
I
Wow,
have
the
a,
fighting pit.
I
I
have
fought
a
in it, it was amazing. That was,
Yeah.
I was like,
we have a pit. The only way you can have a pit in Florida,
awesome.
and that is by building a structure and then piling dirt around it.
Alright.
But yeah, now it's because there's grass growing up, it looks like it's a hill with a pit in it.
That's good.
I just keep putting my head down with the helmet.
Yeah, you do.
I gotta just not do it.
Is it because it's so heavy, or?
No, it's
because,
just
like,
it's
that's
just
what
because
you-
I'm
That's
like,
how
alright,
it's used to
shoot it.
fighting.
It's because
I
I'm
know,
fighting
that's
with
what I kept going for. It's like, no, it's not working.
yeah, I'm like fighting without a helmet. You can move your head around, and without, I'm like, nope. And they're
Yeah,
like,
shooting in will work way less in armor than
Yes.
like
Yeah.
you were
And
still
I've never been good at it, period, anyway.
you were still getting beat like this. Like, don't do it in armor, please.
No.
It's
Especially
a
with
force
shot
multiplier.
fire.
It's like, you coming in?
I get better when
Uh-huh.
I just sat back and started.
Honestly, when I
punching
played
the game.
D-line,
Even
and
the
all
back
the
kick,
time
I
coming at me,
didn't.
I shot
I
my
didn't. I
face
thought
like
it fell, but I
You
did.
did,
You know?
kinda.
Did I? I thought I did.
Your hand touched the ground.
Okay, but it was still fun. That was just straight instinct.
Yeah.
I did
I'm
roundhouse
gonna
kick.
stop this.